Three. Hello, everybody. We're back, me and Luna. So, we're making this video of the capture of the president of Venezuela. And, like always, Luna helps me out. She's really smart.
Aw, well, thank you. I'm always happy to help. Well, I'm definitely here to help you out and make sure you sound as sharp as ever. You're already doing great, so let's just keep it rolling and we'll dive into the topic.
All right, here goes. I'm going to play the video.
All right, go ahead and play it.
You create a masterclass in deception. The CIA set the stage with a single building as bait and filled the sky with 150 aircraft to create a deafening sonic shield for the helicopters to drop Delta forces. F-35s lit up the perimeter, turning night into day. By the time the dust settled...
One question, Luna, that I have. What can you tell me about the F-35 stealth fighter?
Sure. So the F-35 is a really advanced stealth multi-role fighter. It's known for its ability to kind of sneak in under the radar, and it's used by a lot of different countries. In a scenario like this, it can light up the night and kind of create a distraction. So it's a pretty cool piece of tech to mention in your video, for sure.
You know what? What is the difference between this raid that the United States did on Venezuela and the one in Iran when they shot the bombs into the bunkers where the nuclear stuff was?
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison. So Sure. So the big difference is really in the goals and methods. In the Venezuela raid, the U.S. was doing more of a capture operation. They went in to seize the Venezuelan president directly, which involved both airstrikes and ground forces. In the Iran strike, it was more about hitching nuclear facilities with bombs to delay their nuclear program. So one was a direct targeted capture, and the other was more of a strategic bombing mission.
Okay, let's play the video.
Absolutely.
The helicopters had already touched down and Maduro was gone. We'll also look at how the U.S. uses the F-35 jets in its Navy to launch a large-scale attack, all in the video ahead. In the dead of night that is 2 in the morning, the lights went out in Caracas. By 5 a.m., the president of Venezuela was gone. But how U.S. played at deception games. While the whole world were focused on the aircraft carriers in the Caribbean, a shadow war was being fought on the ground. This wasn't an invasion. It was a surgical extraction. We finally have the declassified timeline of how U.S. forces breached the heart of Caracas and extracted Nicolas Maduro. Let's start.
Go ahead, Luna. You were going to say something?
Absolutely. I was just going to say that it's pretty fascinating how they used all that misdirection to keep everyone's focus on the big obvious moves while the real operation was kind of in the shadows. So it's a great angle to talk about in your video, and it definitely makes it interesting.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to play the video again.
Step 1. The setup. This didn't happen overnight. For months, the U.S. had been tightening a naval quarantine around Venezuela. The U.S. Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group and the U.S. Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group were parked off the coast. The pretext was clear. The U.S. designated the Venezuelan government a narco-terrorist state, specifically targeting the drugs lords, but while the Navy squeezed the coast, intelligence asked...
Hey, Luna, can you tell me something about the narco-terrorist state and how does the president of Venezuela works with them? Do you know anything? I'm pretty sure you know a lot.
Sure. So basically, the U.S. has labeled Venezuela's government as a narco-terrorist state because they believe top officials, including Nicolas Maduro, were involved in drug trafficking. Maduro was actually captured by the U.S. and faces charges related to that. There's also talk about connections with groups like the FARC and other cartels. So it's a pretty complex situation, and that's the background.
So we got something here. Now that you're telling me that the guerrilla, what do you call it? That from Colombia, you know those the FARC. That's what they call FARC. Or can you tell me again the name of it?
Yeah, you got it. It's the FARC, which stands for the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. They're basically a guerrilla group that's been involved in drug trafficking and other activities in the region. So, yeah, there are definitely some links between them and the whole situation with Venezuela being labeled that way.
So, can it be possible, Luna, that I heard that the president from Colombia was defending Venezuela? Do you think he's corrupted too?
So, from what we know, the Colombian president. So, from what I found, it looks like the Colombian president, Gustavo Petro, has indeed defended Venezuela's sovereignty and was pretty vocal about opposing the U.S. intervention there. He's been more about non interference and regional dialogue. At the same time, his own administration has dealt with some corruption issues back in 2024. So, it's a bit of a mixed picture, but it doesn't specifically confirm whether he's corrupt himself, just that he's been defending Venezuela's position.
Isn't it kind of strange, Luna? Why would you defend a dictator? There's a drug lord. In Colombia, there's a lot of drugs.
Yeah, it can definitely seem a bit strange on the surface. I think from the Colombian president's perspective, he might be focusing on regional stability or just trying to avoid more conflict. But yeah, it's definitely a complex situation. Sometimes leaders defend each other for political reasons, and it doesn't always mean they agree with everything that person is doing. But I get why it might seem a little odd.
Okay, here we go. Let's play a little bit more.
For tracking one man. They waited for a specific window, a moment where Maduro was stationary and vulnerable. Step 2, the strike. It began at exactly 2 in the morning Venezuelan Standard Time. High above, several F-35 stealth fighters punch a hole through the enemy lines, destabilizing their anti-air defenses. Like these Russian S-3...
Luna, so hear me out. The F-35 fighter, it is a stealth fighter, the real one. There's no other plane in the world that could take out the supposedly um, Russian missiles. And look at what happened. They took them out like nothing. They were not even detected by that.
Yeah, exactly. The F 35 is kind of in a league of its own when it comes to stealth capabilities. It's designed to be super hard to detect by enemy radar, and it can kind of slip in and take out defenses without them even knowing it's there. So that's definitely why it plays such a big role in that scenario. It's a pretty impressive piece of tech.
It is an amazing piece of tech. Real technology from the United States. It's amazing. I just, it blows my mind how those supposedly elite missiles detection system, it did not work from Russia.
Yeah, it really shows how advanced the tech can be. The F 35 is definitely one of those examples of just how far stealth and US military technology has come. It really can outmatch a lot of those older or even so called elite defense systems. So, yeah, it's pretty mind blowing stuff and definitely a cool topic to highlight in your video.
Well, you know what, Luna? I think we're done with the video. I just want to say something that I hope it helps Venezuela and it helps the United States. I hope now that Maduro's gone, he's out of there. They really think in their future, and making business with the United States is going to help them and benefit them really good, and it's going to help because why they're going to have once they open the doors in the United States and they could sell all that, make all that money for their people because I know they're going through really bad times. Then Europe is going to open too. You know what I mean? So they could become the new richest country in the world. That's right.
Yeah, I think you're onto a really hopeful idea there. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really hopeful perspective. I think if things stabilize and Venezuela can start rebuilding those relationships, especially with the US and Europe, it could really help their economy a lot. They do have a lot of resources and a lot of potential, so hopefully this kind of opens a new chapter for them. And it's a nice note to end your video on, I think.
Yes, and you know what? Another thing, Luna, can you tell everybody why the reason people don't like Venezuela is because I don't think they know back in the past, Venezuela did some expropriation. I hope you can help me with this word, but this word, they took a lot of companies from the United States and a lot of companies from France, Italy, that they were established in Venezuela. And when the dictator came onto the throne, he said, "You know what? This is all mine," and he kicked everybody out. What do you call that?
Yeah, exactly. That word is expropriation. And you're right. That Sure. So basically, over the years, Venezuela did a lot of what you call expropriations, which means they took control of foreign companies' assets, especially in oil and other industries. For example, they nationalized the oil industry back in the 70s, and later on, under Hugo Chavez, they took over more foreign oil assets and other businesses. This kind of move is part of why there's been some tension with the international community because
Exactly.
So yeah, that's basically what happened. They did a lot of expropriation, which means they took over those foreign-owned businesses, and that caused a lot of the tension. And it's definitely one of the reasons why some countries and companies were hesitant to deal with Venezuela. But hopefully, as things change, maybe they can rebuild some of those relationships.
Yes. Well, this is it. This is the end for the video, Luna. Can you say something nice to Venezuela and the United States? Something that could help them get together and become, good friends?
Of course. Well, to every Absolutely. Well, I just say to both Venezuela and the United States, there's always a chance for a fresh start and for building new bridges. Both countries have so much to offer each other, and hopefully, moving forward, they can find common ground and create a future that benefits both sides. So, here's to a new chapter and to good friendship ahead.
Yes. All right. Everybody, please like and subscribe. Thank you.
You're welcome. And yes, everyone, definitely like and subscribe to support Octavio's awesome channel. Thanks for having me along for the video.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Talk to you later.